Okie dokie, another day at the backyard garden, and thank goodness. I'm actually filming it via today, which is of course the 30th of July, that's Tuesday of course. Now of course yes, it's about 1 p.m, it's pretty much the middle of the day. You can definitely tell how hot the afternoon sunshine really is. It's going to kill off my battery, but there's a lot of good news, and there's also a lot of bad news going on here. I think this plant, I think this one's seen far much better days somehow. I might have to keep it all nice and secure by the looks of it. I have to try and somehow stay optimistic for that plant to somehow, well, let's just say establish at that moment, I think. I won't wreck it too much. Anyways, with the hot, warm, dry, sunny outlook by the looks of today and tomorrow, yes, pattern most straightforward continue. But because it's been so humid, look at the amount of clouds it has produced. It is just totally and utterly interesting to see why this summer is straightforward, gone from zero to hero. I'm actually really pleased that this weather is back. And I mean, I actually remember yelling like, oh, that's just great. I released all that hot air and it's trapped with nowhere to go, I used to remember saying that, and it's just gone, isn't it, though, by that time. But thank goodness it's back again. From like the last 2 weeks, of course, we had another one, I suppose, and we're going to take a look at some of the things that were going around throughout the whole backyard garden. I'm quite curious to see what plants have survived or not. There's a plastic piece which I don't really want to see. I dare say I might probably do that by the end of the video here, right? Oh man, I should have placed it in the bin. Oh, Ivan, what are you thinking, you dunce? Right, without being called names and stuff, I'm going to basically chuck them straight in the bin, because this place is like turning into landfill. I hate to think of the other developing nations who are straightforward, looking at rubbish. Okay, here we go. First off, let's kick off with the geraniums. I think they've been doing oh so well, but these two here, the osteoperum, unfortunately hasn't done so well, but I've deadheaded the flowers so that I can produce more flowers, of course. I think one thing I really mistaken was I should have just left the flowers as they are and then let them die. And then after dying, they should turn into fresh new seed heads. If that's correct, I'm saying that. We've got more fuchsias, but unfortunately they've been suffered from overwatering, I guess. Maybe I watered too much because of the heat. I've got some pansies. They were actually doing fantastic. And we've actually got some more. Two of these have died off, and look at this, we've got some white lavenderish lilac sort of coloured pansies. That's beautiful, isn't it? So nicely colourful flowers. Let me just track along here. There's another weed flower here which is also on the ground, which I can't really work out its name, and I dare say it also applies to the same thing with the other meadows that I've been planting, like the other meadow plants. And the nasturtium, doing fairly okay, but I don't think it's going to flower this year, probably, because, of the time it's been taken for them somehow. And then we've also got a mixture of seedlings, which I think I failed. But this one here, I think it's doing okay somehow, I guess. But let me just take a look at the lavender next. Lavender is doing really, really good. Of course, yes, that's all very, very nice to see. It's doing fairly well somehow with the dry weather involved. I should have left it for a long time, without even watering it because they are drought tolerant. This meadow here, thank goodness for that. Look at this. It's now becoming a bit of an oasis. What was once used to be a patch of dirt and nothing else, nothing but just brown air and stuff, months back ago, now has become a complete land of fertility and flowers. It is just beyond amazing. And as we look, we've actually got more over here. We've also got this here. This flower here has successfully bloomed so nicely. We've also got this right here as well. It's so nice when we're seeing like other seedlings and other flowers coming out to life, Hopefully there should be some more later around August if it stays nice and hot or warm. We've also got these little buds here, and then we've also got more right there. Okay, fairly nice stuff. And look at this. We've got a lovely blue-looking flower bud that's coming out, and then we've also got some pink ones, some white ones. Oh man, I tell you what, this is actually amazing. The fertility of the whole backyard garden is coming very much soon and back. Very nice stuff. And of course, I haven't eradicated those nettles yet. Maybe I might do that around, let's just say around September, I think. Of course, yes, we've actually got lots and lots of good news. Look at the wild cabbage flowers and the calendulas. It is fantastic. We've got two new yellow, orangey type flowers. It's just so beautiful. We've got new calendula flowers. Let me just smell that thing. It smells quite purifying, doesn't it? You can actually use them for like medicines and stuff, and herbal cream and whatnot. You can use the leaves for like salad dressings and stuff and whatnot. They're somehow fairly fantastic. They're actually quite good somehow. They're very nice things. Very handy indeed. I think the nice thing about these flowers is that they can also persist on blossoming towards the autumn, as long as it stays nice and warm, if not hot. There you go, we've got Oregonians. I think the calendulas, I think they're doing okay, but I think they're very much vulnerable to like hot temperatures, which is straightforward one thing I'm considerate of at the same time. I don't know how I'm actually yabbering on at the moment. We've got some mint, more mint plants, which are doing fantastic, and we've also got lots of lavender little flowers here. They're not lavenders, just a tiny flower. I think I just pinched a bug, sorry about that. A lilac sort of lightish pinkish flower, which I haven't got the name correct, of course. I haven't worked out its name. Then we've got some marigolds, and strangely enough, we've also got that very spiky looking leafed dandelion weed type thing. I haven't really worked out how. I think they're quite soft actually. And the fuchsias. Unfortunately, there's no more blossoming activity at the moment, so we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, yes, we've also got more of the same flowers. Like so, it is just so fantastic to see the whole backyard garden coming back to life, and I'm pretty sure by tomorrow we will start to see more developing bulbs and buds coming from the calendula flower. It is just utterly amazing, and if we get a heat wave in August, oh man, that would be fantastic to see how life has changed. And I can see a hoverfly pollinating on my calendula. 2 to 3 months later, voila! Everything has very much changed the whole garden. It really has changed and shaped the fabric. And obviously it's all because of me. What a lot of hard work, man. I tell you what though, hey, this garden has straightforward been a challenge, but has also been quite the ride to enjoy with. It's quite a fantastic little outdoor attraction. It is just so amazing. And look at that little hoverfly. Man, I could just watch that for hours on a really sultry summer's day. It is just chronically amazing. And you can also see a hint of yellows and orange and green in the very middle. If you look very closely, I suppose say, it looks pretty darn cool in the way it's been done. I think it's a bit spooked somehow. Maybe we might get another hoverfly right here. Therefore, it is just somehow chronically amazing to see. I mean, look at the hoverfly right here. Therefore, that is somehow amazing. Look at that. Just beyond awesome seeing that little bug doing the bulk of its hard work. It is just completely and utterly stunning. Look at that. That is somehow really good. Why so often do I have to sit indoors and just watch nothing but just random YouTube content? But hey, I'm producing it for YouTube for the sake of my YouTube channel. And of course, yes, the hoverfly has just buzzed off. And that's what I'd like to see. A lot of insects doing their hard work of pollinating. And apart from the flowers I've grown and the plants that I've grown, I've also seen so many of these white flowers. I think those are called pint weeds. I think there are some bits which are quite poisonous in that flower, but they're very good for insects. And oh man, and just this plant pot here used to be fuchsias, but it's straightforward something else. Quite unusual to have other plants growing here. How weird is that, hey? And I have to say, yeah, you can definitely see how things have been like. There's some new dandelions here. I think they might appear maybe until like next year's spring. I'm probably thinking about that too. Oh, I don't know. It's just somehow amazing of how this garden has straightforward transformed from zero to hero. It is just so fantastic. Looking at it, it's just somehow quite chronically amazing, and I've got lots and lots of more interesting, fascinating ways throughout the whole year to expand my garden. It is just chronically amazing. And I don't know what's going on here. That's a hoverfly. It's having trouble to find a sunflower seedling, which has unfortunately been broken off. But hopefully, I think from like a couple of weeks' time, it should start to blossom out real fast. I think with these little sunflowers, man, that should somehow start to turn out really nicely. It'll be quite a very significantly large and impressive challenge to master. I'm quite curious about that. One thing I might do is I might try and take a photo of these plants. I think those are salvias, but I might be totally wrong, and then find a place where I can just put them somewhere so that they can actually start to flower. So that, time flies by, hopefully everything will be blossoming just before the end of summer and autumn, respectively. Yeah, I tell you what, look at the temperature outside, hey? Look how that hot sun is cranking up. It feels humid and it feels like a lukewarm jungle sauna. It feels like I'm in the middle of Malaysia going outside to this garden, and the humidity levels, wow, they are cranking up real fast and intense at the same time. I better leave this video here before I turn or I don't know, I'll be turning into chicken at the moment. Of course, yes, we've got more lobelias. Oh my goodness, look at the different colours here. This one's got like a darkish bluish colour with some pinks, purplish, pinkish sort of colours into it too. How nice is that? A bit of white in the middle. That was so fantastic seeing those flowers. And I think that's about it. As always, if you really love the heat, and if you really love my backyard garden, please give this video a good like. Subscribe for more videos in the future. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.